Hello, welcome to Berghof Automation Radio, FA Radio. So I'm Chris. So this time it's only me because Taka-san he also have some stuff he need to do. So maybe he cannot attend these very great collaborations. So in this time, FA Radio, we invite Berghof Automation is a very nice company from German. Okay, so in here we have Costa and Matthias. Hello.
Hello,
Hello,
everybody.
nice
Okay.
to meet you.
Nice to
Nice
meet
to meet
you.
you.
Okay, so let me introduce my the podcast. In this podcast, we have so many we have this introduced so many different types of factory automation topics, and both of listener is very interesting on collecting the more information for the factory automations, what kind of new device will be released, and what's the new trend in German or even in Italy or in European company or American company. So that's why this time I would like to invite you to introduce what is your company and what is your fantastic products in your company. Okay, so before we start, could you introduce both Matthias and Costa? Now I can pass the time to you.
Sure. Costa, you can start.
Yep. Okay. Hello, everyone. My name is Konstantinos Arabatzis, or Costa just for short. I've been working at Berghof for 14 years now. Initially, I started as an application engineer with CODESYS controls. At that time, it was still mainly CODESYS V2. But shortly after that, later that year, we released, or Berghof released the first CODESYS V3 not application, but PLC, which was the EC1000. And basically from that point on, I have been on board on the CODESYS V3 or CODESYS train, and I have been riding it until now. A few years later, after doing application and project work, I changed to technical support, which makes me the primary contact person for all of our customers in case of technical questions and technical problems. Also, I'm doing technical training with the customers. I teach the customers how to use our product. I teach the customers how to use CODESYS as well, and also different kinds of workshop when there are certain topics in CODESYS and how you can realize them. We also teach that. And yeah, that's basically it about me.
Okay, so you are the specialist of the CODESYS and the Berghof product, is it correct?
I try to be at least.
Okay, thank you.
I think we can say that, yes.
Okay, thank you. So Matthias could listen and know a little bit more about you.
Thank you. My name is Matthias Geisler. I've been working for Berghof now for 7 years.
Okay.
So started as a field sales engineer, so for a specific region in Germany. My customer base was mainly machine builders and some system integrators for the complete Berghof portfolio. And then 2021, I got the possibility to take over the lead as the head of sales for the Berghof Automation GmbH, but just for a specific business unit for the automation PLC part. That means PLCs, HMIs, IOs, everything roundabout CODESYS as programming language. And yeah, that's it. So 5 years in that position, and I got a lot of gray hairs. No, just kidding. It makes fun. We have a good team. We have good products and good partners like HTP in Japan. So yeah, and I'm happy to be here today.
Okay, so before we continue to the podcast, so I would like, for the first time, I would like to really thanks Matthias again. Why I would like to tell a story that why I meet Matthias is actually I think it's 1.5 years before that I need to find a Raspberry Pi controller that to import in Japan. That for my for one customer is a very big in automotive, and then that time I find some different types of Raspberry Pi controller. And then that time, one time I think in LinkedIn that I see Berghof Raspberry controller. It seems very nice. And that's why then I just sent a message to Matthias, hey, can we have a talk or something? And they said, okay. And then after being up 2 weeks later, they sent me a sample for free to Japan. And then I test it, and then I show it to the customer, and if they liked it, and they sell it. So it's very, I think it's a very great, very interesting relationship between me and Matthias. And
Sure.
I do very,
Sure.
appreciate that he think I may not is very strange guy. I will not steal his products. Something, yeah.
No,
Okay, thank you.
never thought of
Okay, so let me continue. Okay, so thanks to introduce Matthias and Costa to introduce yourself. So now I would like to know a little bit about Berghof Automation.
Sure.
So because I also visit Berghof's homepage so many times, and actually, Matthias also he fixed my mistake before when or last year on the exhibition. Actually, because last year in the exhibition, in my company's booth also show Berghof's products. He say, "Hey, your company name is not correct. It's Berghof Automation, not Berghof." And I said, why? What is the difference? And then I researched the website again that I know that Berghof is not just making PLC and HMI, they're also making transport system and inspection machine, something. It's a
sure.
big wheel. And I see it's only have 18 employees in the world, right? It's not a only very big company.
Eight,
Eight, eight,
so
eight,
our
zero.
team base has around about 80,
Yeah,
80,
80, yeah,
80,
80, 80,
80
zero.
our team base.
Yeah.
But the group is a little bit bigger. But if you want, I can give you a short
Yeah,
overview
please.
of what is Berghof, what is the group,
Yeah,
etc.
sure.
And your listener for sure. So Costa and me are from the Berghof Automation GmbH.
Okay,
Um, that's a company in the Berghof Group.
okay.
I start with the Berghof Automation GmbH. We are also part from, we have two business units. One I already explained. It's the PLC, HMI, so all devices, series production, tailor-made solution from the PLC side. And the second business unit in our GmbH company is the testing. So, and they are producing customized machines for the automotive industry. So, for bumpers, for seats, for door panels. So, fully automatic machines where the goods from the tier one suppliers in the production bring in their goods and they fully do the complete electric test, quality inspection, surface test. So that's the second thing in our GmbH. And
Yeah, please.
okay, and over us there's the Berghof Group, the holding. So we are, I think, six different business units, and the holding is above, and they're doing our finance, our HR, and so on. And it's all started with our founder, Professor Georg Zundel. He was a scientist in the 60s, and he developed a lot of things. So his key sentence was, "Resting is not my thing. Something always has to happen for me." So he developed. And so our different companies were established.
Okay. I,
We are the automation side. Then we have a sister, it's the fluoroplastics. Fluoroplastics, producing special PTFE. Our founder developed a special PTFE of special plastics where you can use it, make a shield bags in spaceships and so on. Then our other sister membranes, they're making water filtration, or not only water, for filtration, every fluid from the industry. Then we have other company, Gigahertz Optic. They have everything to do with light, so sensors with light, measuring with light. Then we have a service company, environmental engineering. They're going to, let me say, old gas stations, make probes from the ground and give help to rebuild it to that people can live there. So rebuilding. And then the last one, the products and instruments. They are building laboratory equipments for probe handling and reactor probe things. So completely different. All our 6 companies are completely different because our founder was a scientist and he loved to develop.
Oh my God, I think I have a very big misstandings about Berghof.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
the important thing is that
Mm.
everything is produced in Germany.
Oh, really?
So all our
Oh.
PLCs, the
Mm.
fluoroplastic, the membranes, everything below Stuttgart,
Mm.
near Reutlingen. Eningen is the village. So I don't
Mm.
know how many, Costa, 2,000, 3,000, how many people live in Eningen, I
Oh
don't know.
no, Eningen is actually around 12,000.
Well,
It's
Really?
okay.
it's more like of a small town than a village, and it belongs to the greater city of Reutlingen, which is nearby Stuttgart. Yes.
Oh.
So you know, Chris, you are invited when you
Mm-mm.
have time to visit us. Then you will see the beautiful Schwäbische Alb, a lot of woods, and you're invited to get to know Inningen for sure.
Yeah, if I have time, I have chance, I need to visit your office. I need to bring some more customer to your office.
Sure, sure.
Okay, so that means that bit of automation is okay focused on the PLC, on the HMI, and also is focused on the automotive. Is the automotive expect?
So our sister is
Mm,
focused on the automotive sector
mm,
because their machines are for bumper seats, so
mm,
everything
mm,
what you need in a car.
mm, mm.
And we are focused on the machine builder, system
Ah,
integrator, because we have standard products.
mm.
No, we have also customized products, but normally our business is standard products, high quality, good price ratio, and then for the machine builder who is making quantities, really a lot of machines. Or it could also be a special machine builder where every machine is not like the other. Also here we can help. So our customer base is really wide, from food machines, packaging machines, conveyor belts. We have also some medical machines, medical waste shredder, where application has been done with our controllers. Also in the building automation for more business buildings. So HVAC, heating, ventilation, climating in hotels or something like that. Here we have products. The good thing is CODESYS is really open from the communication side. So you can do nearly every application when it comes to automation. You can do with CODESYS and with our products.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, Matthias, you mentioned Cotis. I will have a little bit discussion on what is the relationship between Berghof and Cotis. So don't worry. So before we go through this topic, could you introduce a little bit? What is your product actually? You told me your product range around PLC and HMI. Could you introduce more information for our listeners? What kind of PLC do you looking? I know, but I think the all listener they don't know what kind of the PLC device that Berghof is providing to the machine builder or the end user. Could you tell me a little bit more about
Do
that?
you want to take over this part?
Yes. So of course.
Ah,
So when you when you go on our homepage, we and take a look at our products, you will see different categories, but it's actually quite simple. Like we have 3 product families.
okay.
The first product family is the modular controls. I can even show one. It looks like this.
Oh,
Yes, this is like our modular controls, which means we have like a system that can be expanded with different modules, where you can use then something like
oh,
that.
yeah.
Yes, no, I have to unplug it, and you can expand it. These are different I/O modules for all basic use cases that are there. Digital inputs, analog inputs, outputs, counter inputs, and basically in that range. Also, you see yellow modules, maybe a little bit later to that.
Yeah.
So this is our modular range. That we have here, like a highly flexible system that can be expanded and used. We have these devices also in different sizes. The main technical specs are always the same. So these are our MC or BC Pi series. So these are devices that are using the Raspberry Pi as a core.
Okay.
And basically the different sizes just differ like with the interfaces, but the basic specs about like the core, like it's a quad core, it has 1 to 8 gigabyte of RAM, depending on what you're doing. So this is our modular series. We then go to the HMI series.
Okay.
Wait, I also have a device here. I also have a device here. So these are our display devices.
Okay.
And the display devices also like are divided into two parts. One, we have regular HMIs and just display devices. In this case, like we call them the e-terminals. These are Ethernet-based display devices that can either show a visualization over VNC or over web.
Okay.
So they don't have any control functionality. They're just there to display something. Of course, they have touch and everything, and to control something, but or to control the application. But they are not intelligent devices by themselves. And of course, like then we have the combined devices. This is our DC series, which is PLC with integrated HMI, where you can display your visualization directly on the device. Yes, and you can control the whole machine with one device. Here we also have like different sub-series, a little bit like IMX-based devices from our previous generation that we still have with single and dual cores. We have resistive touchscreens, we have capacitive touchscreens, and of course the device I just showed you is a DC Pi, which is right now our newest product. That is like the display device with also Raspberry Pi technology integrated. And last but not least, one moment,
Okay.
I am going to grab it.
He has so many stuff in his lab.
Yes, we have our last part. This is our compact series, you could say. The compact does not just is for like a small size, but it is like for highly integrated devices. So you can see here, this is our like bestseller on the compact series. I have a device. I have a lot of interfaces, serial CAN connection. I have then an integrated switch. I have a separate second Ethernet connection, and I have a number of integrated IOs. So the compact stands for integrated devices. Again, we have these in different sizes and with different number of interfaces and different number of IO. These are actually quite popular for water wastewater management and also in building automation, especially for the high number of integrated IOs, because in these cases you only have one cabinet. The cabinet is limited in space, so when you have one device that has all the interfaces needed, that has all the integrated IOs needed, this is how you can solve it.
Okay.
And every device that I've showed you here can be programmed with CODESYS.
Okay, so okay, let me have somebody that all listen. So Berghof actually they have three types of a main series for them. The first one is a modular series controller. Is a controller that you can plug in just like IOs that as you want your applications. The second type of HMI. They have HMI. They have only touch type, or also have a CODESYS, have a controller type. And they have a compact series. They have integration IO and so many interface. Okay, so the first thing is when you talk about the modular controller and the HMI type controller, you have mentioned the Raspberry Pi, right? So I think
Yes.
now Raspberry Pi is very famous in the industry area. So people they would like to use a Raspberry Pi, and but the most of customer that from the side that the voice that hear from the hey my Raspberry Pi just you see here this type. They say, hey, this type of pieces controller they run very well in the first 1 or 2 years, but after 3 years or 4 years they will start to broken. 1, 2, 3, 4. Then you don't know why. They maybe just they don't know the components problem, and the problem is you
A
cannot buy.
commercial product, to be honest. What you have in your hand is a commercial product. So we all know from the past that the Pi Foundation started with these commercial in university playing kits, cheap playing kits, let me say in that way, to spread their products all over the world. It was cheap, it was good, you could easy to program, and you could do a lot of things with it. Then I don't know, Costa, when we started with our development of the first from the MCs, I think we started 21. 21 was
No. We actually we started the evaluation. We already started the evaluation earlier.
earlier. Yeah.
We started it earlier. I'm also not sure if it was late 2019, 2020. It was around that time. Because I still remember that because we started with evaluating the Raspberry Pi 3 was actual at that time. But we deemed the Raspberry Pi 3 not to be ready with the features that it had to be ready for serious industrial use. There were two aspects. One was just from the interfaces that it provided. It was not able to provide the level of performance or let's say stable performance that we would have required it and what is up to our standard and what can be reached or could already be reached at that time with our IMX based devices. So this was not so much. But around also the same time, the Raspberry Pi 4 was introduced, and we also got eval boards then for that, and it made a much better look. And basically from that point, we started the full-on integration. We were also in very close contact with the Pi Foundation during that time to get all the information on a possible CM4. This is very important when it comes to our Pi-based devices. We are not using the default Pi board. We are using the CM modules, the compute modules, because basically only with these compact modules you will be able to produce and to design actual industrial hardware. Because the module is everything is reduced to a small board. You have only the basic necessities. It's an SOM, it's a system on a module, but you always will have to provide a kind of motherboard that is
So when
going
you have
to
a look
bring
at
out.
the module Costa showed with the aluminium housing. So
And
we
this one is
decided.
by Amazon. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a little bit different. So you really have to divide it to commercial parts from Raspberry Pi and industry parts, so the CM modules, the compute modules. So when
This is the compute module. If the camera is going to share it, yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
So when we decided to go for next CPU generation, so we had a look at different stages. So at the moment, at the past, we had IMX6 based single and dual core CPUs, and then we decided, okay, where to go. So Raspberry Pi, they already had the CM3 compute model 3 on the market, where they try to go into the industry sector. So everybody knows that in the past, Raspberry Pi was a little bit different from the temperature possibilities, what they're offered. So we decided, okay, we have a look at it. The interesting thing is the Raspberry Pi community. Also, if they develop things in the commercial parts, and it's a good program, you can use it in the industry part when it comes to IoT functionalities. So I think it really kickstarted when the IoT 4.0 wave started. So everybody wanted to do something with IoT, gateway data, logging, analyzing. So here the Pi module with its huge storage, because you have to think our IMX-based controllers has up to 512 MB RAM or flash, and the Pi module starting by 1 gig and 8 gig. So you have complete other possibilities with these storage types. So we decided, okay, we need to develop something like that. And we need to develop a new product. And then the work began, because our development department has at the beginning only the small PCBA with the Pi chip on it and the interfaces. And like Costa said, you need a motherboard for the single module with just a low level, not less interfaces. For the double, you need 2 boards. And then you need to combine everything. Our goal is always good quality, long-term availability. So normally our products are running 10 to 15 years in the field without problems. The temperature rating, so 60 degrees is normally our goal. in the past impossible with the Pi. For that, we developed a special cooling concept with the housing. Also possible to add a fan on the bottom. So it's the complete product is a Berghof product. You know it. So just that little PCBA, which are doing for the performance for the cores, we are just using the cores. Is Raspberry Pi, and the rest is Berghof. Also, on the MC devices with a closed real-time Linux, a CODESYS on the top, high performance, 500 microsecond cycle time, and high-end motion projects is Berghof. And just when we sell it with the Raspberry Pi OS, then we have another part from the Raspberry Pi Foundation.
Ah, okay.
So,
Please.
I know you. I think you know what I mean. Pi is a Raspberry Pi is a big word. It's gaining a lot of interest, to be honest. But the technique behind is made by Berghof. Yeah.
Yeah, and because it's very every people they also would like to use a Raspberry Pi, but when I go to the customer side to try to introduce them to use for the Berghof for something that the first thing to say to me, hey, Raspberry Pi, is that really can be used in automotive line or not? Because what they're thinking Raspberry Pi is this.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I think that because I know Berghof so much, I know that they have so many cooling options. They have fan, they have heat sink. They can also they even you can order it just from one pieces, and then so this you cannot find in this type of stuff. You can just buy in Amazon or something. And also other problem is that Matthias he mentioned before is for long term supply. For example, this type of in here I think is a PI4 is a 32 bit. I think I cannot buy too much in Amazon now anymore. For example, if some some friends he uses PI3 before, he cannot buy PI3 now. And this I think cannot be I would say accept in the industry that because they need just buy the same product in the same firmware, maybe 10 years, at least 10 years or something. So I think that is what Berghof can provide to the customer for this type of value. Is it correct?
Our goal. We want to satisfy the customers. We want to help the machine builders to keep their machines alive as long as possible. Means the heart is the controller, so the controller needs to be running. So at the moment, last year the Pi 5 CM5 module were released. At the moment, we are doing tests with it. We are nearly at the end, and our smart development department, to be honest, sorted at this when they developed these modular controllers and also these display controllers, because we can now implement these CM5 in the same hardware. So you have the same motherboards, the same housing. Just put the CM5 module on the motherboard, and then it's running. So it's normally the same product for the machine builder, and more performance. Some more. What more will we have?
Yes, one thing that should be noted, because the CM modules are intended for industrial use. Are intended for the industrial use from the Raspberry Pi Foundation, is that they guarantee a certain at least availability. With the CM4 at 2021 when it was introduced, it was at least 7 years availability, and we are talking about at least, not after 7 years will be discontinued, because I think you can still buy. Or like this, there was also a CM1 and a CM3, and I think they were only recently discontinued. So the availability is there, and then there is the nice thing, and that's the beautiful thing with the compute modules. The compute modules like the CM4 and the CM5 are mostly compatible on hardware. Of course, there needs to be some software updates and stuff to get it running. But even like if the CM4 should be discontinued in less than 10 years, of course, like if we know what the demands are, we can also get the devices. We can stock them for the customers and everything to provide it. But we can also make a seamless transition. We can make a seamless transition to the newer platform because there also the software compatibility is there. It does not matter. Like if you're going with CODESYS, yes, you might have to update your project, but you don't have to do any additional programming. So basically, you go into your CODESYS, you update the device, you update your libraries, you compile it, download it again, and it will run as it was running on the older platform. And the same is also for if you're using the Pi ecosystem. The software compatibility goes down from a software that was developed on the Pi 1 can still run on the Pi 5 or in some point at the Pi 6, 7, 8. So this is like the very beautiful thing about the Pi platform. You have a hardware compatibility, so you can update if necessary to a newer product, and you can get your software to run on the newer product with very little effort. So this is like for the long-term availability, what is our plan. So we will continue the CM4 as long as it is possible, as long as there is a demand, and we will give the option to the people that need it. Maybe they need more performance, it's basically because if they need more performance, they will have also the option to go to the CM5 and continue them from there. And then you again have a bigger bridge with a longer availability because the CM5 was just released last year.
Okay, and I think the people that listen about too much about the Raspberry Pi, but let me introduce their Raspberry Pi controllers interface. Actually, I favorite like their Raspberry Pi controllers interface. The 3 series. Actually, this is the most small one from the medium one and from the I think the premium one. In the first, they have a one interface, one Ethernet port, and I think it's 2 USB or 1 USB.
Are you talking about this one?
Yeah, this one.
Okay, yes, that's the Pro model.
Yeah, Pro model.
Like it's the MC Pi Pro or BC Pi Pro. MC is like for modular control, which means this is our own Linux system that is running. That's basically a full-fledged PLC, and it can only be used as a PLC. And the BC is the box computer, which runs the Raspberry Pi OS, and here you have the full open ecosystem of the Raspberry Pi with the open software. You can also add CODESYS additionally, and you can get a hybrid. But yes, that's like the difference, like in these devices, and that's a Pro module. Yes.
Yeah, they have a.
So I can show it in the camera, and you can tell about the interfaces.
They have one Ethernet interfaces in here and 2 USB, and also I feel like they have a display port in here. Because
it's HDMI, yes.
Yeah, the HDMI. I always use the HDMI port and the USB port to plug in a very cheap touch panel. Then I can touch it. I feel like this feature, this combinations. So and for this, their basic one, they have a medium one, right? Costa. So
that's the basic one. This is the middle one. This is the Prime module.
Yeah, I mean in here they're same, but have you see they have 4 USB in here and still have a display port HDMI, and they have one more Ethernet interface and one RS4 and serious communication port, right?
Yeah, not on this module. That's on the Plus module. Unfortunately, I don't have a Plus module right now, but it looks very similar. So it has 2 more ports and like 1 less USB port, but 2 more ports for CAN and for serial communication that you have here. And one thing not to forget is the integrated port. Like technically, it's also an Ethernet interface, but it's used only for EtherCAT for our module. So everything what we're using here, these modules, these are EtherCAT slaves, because like EtherCAT is our main bus that we're using for periphery and everything. And that's like also one additional point that it provides. I think it's
Yes, I
important
feel
to
like
mention.
this controller it have a eBus in there. Then it means they have
Yes,
yeah, your module also have a Ethercat extender, right? Then you can also
yes,
extend to the LJ45 to other Ethercat slave that you like.
yes.
I feel like this.
No.
I feel like these combinations. And I see you
Hmm.
have a yellow one. What is that one? Could you introduce a little bit more about that?
Yes, I can also get them. A little bit. It's all wired up. Sorry,
Okay.
uh, a little bit messy. We also have the yellow ones.
Mm,
Like for people from the industry already know what it is. These
mm,
are safe devices. Um, and safe here because this is a very common mistake when something because many people confuse safe with security.
mm, mm,
And when it comes to cybersecurity, so this does nothing to have to do with cybersecurity.
mm,
These
mm,
are safe devices that are used for machines that can pose a possible danger, especially to humans. So if a machine can hurt you,
mm,
and you need to have fail-safe devices that where you are sure they will work and there is not going to be any doubt. And if there is a doubt, they will make sure that the machine is stopping. These are like the devices that we have here. So um, we can see here, the middle one that you see here is our safety PLC.
mm, mm.
So this is you could say a secondary PLC that can be plugged into our devices. Of course, it can be used with this one, but one thing that people should not forget, we also have a bus coupler, so you can basically use it with all of our PLCs. Um, you can use it with all of our PLCs, um, which is the secondary device. And this is really a second PLC that is in your whole setup that is only going to do the safe part. So you plug it into your main PLC, you program it over the main PLC, also using CODESYS. So
Oh.
it's one ecosystem. So many safety PLCs are like something separate. Um, there's something separate. It's a different software that you will need to use. So you have different systems and you have to match them all up. That's not the case here. We have the safety PLC. It uses the CODESYS safety plugin. It is programmed through CODESYS. Also, data exchange between the main PLC and the safe PLC is done directly through CODESYS through just basic setups. So less programming again, also for data exchange. Yes, this is also going over EtherCAT, and EtherCAT here is like the important bus, because if you have EtherCAT and you have a yellow EtherCAT module, the safe communication then goes with the FSOE.
Oh.
So
Okay.
this device, if you go just by hardware on one side to the main PLC, it is just a regular EtherCAT slave. But additionally, inside the EtherCAT, it will have a secondary function as an FSOE master. FSOE is for failsafe over EtherCAT to communicate with now other safe EtherCAT devices. On the safe EtherCAT devices, we have also in this format different uh, not size, but differently equipped I/O ports. It's digital and analog, not digital in and outs for safe, and with, let's say, a little bit of smart engineering. Or it's also possible to use analog in and counter in with our safe devices, with like could say with a special module that we also provide, that it is not a safe device, it's not yellow, but it has a safe channel into the safe PLC. And by doing then two non-safe measurement channels, you can still transportly the data safe into the PLC and create one safe channel out of two non-safe channels, which give you here more flexibility. And this thing is programmable. So again, you will have a program. You have from CODESYS itself, there is a safety PLC open library, it's called like that, that provides pre-certified functionality for regular safety uses like two-hand control, ESPE control, emergency out control, safe out control, equivalent or antivalent comparison between safe inputs and outputs. And yeah, together like with a PLC like this, you can have like a whole system that has all of the interfaces that you need, that will have a safe interface, safe controller, safe IOs and regular IOs all in one setup that can also be just programmed with one setup. So no need to use like for
Other software.
for the PLC as for the PLC other software. The one thing that is also like interesting here with CODESYS, also CODESYS has the integrated Visu editor. So you also create your visualization inside CODESYS. So you have one software that is doing the control, that is checking the IOs, that can work with different IOs, that is doing the programming for the safety PLC, and that is also displaying your visualization and where you can create your visualization. It's done in one software inside one project, and there is no need to go the route like with three different development tools to create one application.
Okay, thank you. And don't worry, that I also test with the FSOE master and device before. It works very well. So maybe the Japanese listener, if they would like to use the Raspberry Pi, that they worry about the safety, maybe they should try Berghof's safety solutions. And okay, let me have a summarize for your Raspberry Pi controller. Then you have two types. We have MC, is for the machine control type, is run if a real time less than 500 microsecond cycle times for the motion task, for some fast IO tasks with the CODESYS.
Yes.
And then you have other options called BC, is box PC type, and this type
Yes.
is you can think is just a industry Raspberry Pi that you can run your some IoT applications or run
Yes.
your own Python script or something, and you can also install CODESYS inside. It's up to you, right?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. Oh, thank you for your very detailed discussion for your first type of modular controller. So you have a HMI type controller. For your HMI type controller, do you have some IOs inside?
Yes, it again depends on the variant that you get, but with the newest one, we also have, like you can see here, all of the interfaces. We have always we provide our devices with two Ethernet interfaces. One by default is configured as EtherCAT, but it's up to you on how you want to use it. If you don't need EtherCAT, you just configure it as a regular interface, and then you can use it. We have two USB, CAN, and a serial port. It's a double port with RS-232 and 485, so you can also use both here. And we have a number of integrated digital inputs and outputs. Digital ones, I think 8 in, 8 out. Then we have 4 high resolution analog in. High resolution is also, it can also do temperature. It's 24-bit resolution, and we have also 4 lower resolution with 12-bit for current and for voltage. Yes. So these also have integrated IOs, and you can just use them on the device. We also have versions without IOs. If you don't need the integrated IOs, we also have a version that does not have these the serial ports. So there we have like scalable hardware that can be used like to your needs. Like if you have
perfect fit to your requirements, or to
Yes.
the team builder requirements. You can do more IOs. We can easily add remote IOs. When you have a higher quantity, we can also do a special customized IO PCBA, which fits into this product. So then we have exactly that IO count which is needed for the machine. So you can reduce space in the cabinet, reduce modules you need, separate modules you are needing. You have everything in one device, and it's really cost efficient and space efficient.
Okay, so for some applications, so this type of one HMI controller is so very fit for some small machine. For
Small handling machine. So for a bigger machine line, really when you start with a conveyor belt or conveyor belts completely through, first pick and place, then no molding or whatever, and behind is a pick and place packaging machine. Then normally you have one big switch cabinet with a controller and remote I/O in the field, something like that, and just visualization HMIs at the machine parts to show the detailed application, the detailed status of these specific machine part.
Okay, thank you. And for the display, it's also made by CODESYS for the HMI display. For the
Can you
HMI
repeat
display,
that?
for the HMI display, the display part.
Yes.
What?
Also here we have we have the Berghof version with our Linux that is a closed system. Also here we have we will have good news for the future because we are planning to integrate Linux Dockers for the closed system. So there will be some option to extend your or like our system and our closed system with your own software. But this is coming in the future, and right now it's still closed. Here we need to be honest. But we also have the open version with that device that is coming with the Raspberry Pi OS, and then again you're free to do software-wise whatever you want on this device.
Okay, thank
But
you.
we also did hybrid systems. So we took our newest display control family, installed CODESYS on 2 cores. 2 cores are closed to CODESYS, and 2 cores are open with the Raspberry Pi OS. So also here we are doing things fit to the customer requirements because it's everything. Our software development is sitting in Inningen. They have deep Linux knowledge. They have deep CODESYS knowledge. They can make it happen what the customer is needing. So normally, like I said at the beginning, we have never faced to a requirement where we were not able to fulfill it. So sometimes it takes some time, it costs some money, but we try to tailor-made the software solutions for the machine builder.
Okay, thank you.
Hardware is normally fixed, or also here we have the possibilities, but there you need higher quantities to make a special housing, a special PCBA. But from the software side, we are really flexible. We are taking the machine builder at the hand from the beginning from the project until it's completely in the series.
Okay, thank you. And you talk about software, so I would like to shift a little bit to the software. And I that's my feeling that I think Berghof have a very deep connections or relations between CODESYS. Is that correct? Because I see that you have I can order everything from Berghof with CODESYS, all the CODESYS option that I need. You pre-install with us. Or what is your relationship between Berghof Automation and CODESYS? Did have a I would say have a long-term relationship in 20 years something that could tell a little bit about your story with CODESYS. Yeah, you have something.
Right now we are having a test of the fire system. I don't know if you can hear it.
No, we don't
You
hear.
cannot hear it. Okay,
Yeah.
then it's perfect. Like unfortunately, like yes, bad timing. So our relationship with CODESYS itself goes back almost 30 years, I would say. So of course the first PLCs that were developed by Berghof, it was in the 70s. They were more like microcontroller based, and you had direct hardware programming and stuff like that. But otherwise, we jumped on the CODESYS train quite early, and the first CODESYS PLCs that were released from Berghof were by the late 90s. So 1998, 1999 were the first PLCs that were released. They were based on CODESYS V2.
V2.
At least that's the older V2, not even V2.1 or V2.
Pardon?
At that time, it was a little bit different with CODESYS. There was not like the standard CODESYS, but CODESYS would sell the whole IDE system to different manufacturer, and you did your own proprietary version. And we had like these proprietary versions with CODESYS V2 and V2.1. It was called CP1131, just like the Berghof name at that time. But when the bigger jump was made to CODESYS V23, there we made like the first cut where we said, okay, we don't want to make so much proprietary software with this. And we already like made the jump to don't make our own version of CODESYS 2v3, but just expand it with the target version. The times were a little bit different then. It was also before my time here that we had here. There were still a lot of proprietary libraries, but otherwise the project itself was not Berghof bound. It was already like the open project structure and stuff where you with proprietary libraries that were still needed to use certain features or certain interfaces on the PLC. That was how the technology was done at that time. And then I think it was around 2006 or 7 when we released the first CODESYS V23 PLCs, and then at 2012 we made the jump to CODESYS V3, and with CODESYS V3 we made it even less proprietary. So yes, again, we use the default CODESYS. We just provide the target package. The target package consists of the hardware description files, of course, so they're able to log in, and some, we have to say, optional libraries that are only like specifically used with our devices. So if you want to get something like what is the installed firmware, what are the temperatures, the temperature interfaces and stuff like that. So if you need specific hardware devices, you're going to use these libraries. But if you leave these libraries out, then it's a really default CODESYS. So we made that decision deliberately because we said we want to be as near to the standard as possible. Because we want to give our customer an easy to use and open ecosystem. Like it is a little bit of a double-edged sword. So of course, if we remain very near to CODESYS, in theory, it's quite easily to replace us. But on the other side, it's very easy for us to replace other manufacturers. Of course. Like mid-sized manufacturers are doing this, all of the bigger ones, but there is also a little bit of reverse, are not doing this. They will have their own version of CODESYS, like most, and for most, the most famous one, of course, with Berghof, TwinCut. With CODESYS V2, you could see a lot of CODESYS. With TwinCut 3, it was still a little similar, but it was already their own thing. So they make the deliberate choice to make their own version in order to lock the people into their ecosystem and make a change as difficult as possible. Vago actually also tried this. They had I even forgot the name of their own CODESYS with not a controller of their own CODESYS V3 version, but they stopped it. eCockpit. So from CODESYS V23 they went to eCockpit, and then they saw, what are we doing? Why are we making our lives so difficult? And then they jumped back, and they still will provide some support for eCockpit, but new controllers, they're saying just use the regular CODESYS and install our packages. So and many bigger manufacturers that provide CODESYS will have some kind of option to just install the original, or not the original, the standard CODESYS runtime and not their default runtime. So Vago has this, I think Mitsubishi has this, Berghof has this. Otherwise, just take a look at the CODESYS store and you will find a number of different runtime versions that also are just used with the default CODESYS. So this is at least like one, how to say it, it provides the answer that we went the right way with staying as close as possible to the CODESYS system and just use the features that they have, because like there is no need to invent the wheel twice. CODESYS provides just by itself a big number of different functionality, be it like low-level access to all of the interfaces, be it file systems, be it like organizational stuff, default libraries, utility libraries. There's a lot of side inside there, and not speaking of all of the default field buses that are already supported inside CODESYS that can just be used. So if you have a already working, very well working CODESYS Modbus, why should you create your own Modbus to make it more difficult for people to change? So the same goes with EtherCAT, with Profinet, with Ethernet IP. This is all there. We support it all, and it's just a great ecosystem to be working in. Yes.
Yeah, I think
So
also
our goal,
please. Yeah, Malik, your turn.
our goal was also make it as easy as possible for the machine builder. So when you can program in CODESYS, native CODESYS has no proprietary solution inside. Most of the new programmers, so the young programmers, the human resources will be CODESYS programmer. They will not be programmer from a proprietary system. They will, like Siemens in the past, now it's CODESYS. So they learn the native CODESYS on the universities. So for the machine builder, it's easier when they have the native CODESYS control unit in their machines to search for programmer, because, like I said, native CODESYS programmer getting more and more on the market. So that was the first thing. Also, from the status of the firmware. So we are normally just 2 months behind the release of CODESYS from the major patches. So all bigger competitors with a proprietary CODESYS solution are years behind the CODESYS major patches. So they have a lack of functionalities which CODESYS already released in the native one, but they have supported on their proprietary one. So they take time, though they're behind, and we're really close to the actual released CODESYS firmware. So we have always the newest functionalities. For sure. We also developed some Berghof specific libraries, but only libraries, functionalities, where we can use on our devices, like QR code library when you display a QR code with information on the panel, and PDF library. And even CODESYS ask us to buy our libraries and place it on the store. So there you see that we have a really close contact to 3S. Yeah, it's a good relationship. For me, it's the programming language in the future for sure. But it's an open system. The world needs open system when it comes to the next supply chain crisis, and you have a proprietary solution, and your vendor cannot deliver. And when you want to switch to another vendor with other programming language, you need half a year to port the software, something like that. So from our side, like Costa said, when we cannot deliver, you can use Turk or something like that. Just replace the controller and little adjustments, and you have 1 week and the program is running. So also in the supply chain crisis, open system is always the best solution.
Yes, there is a reason why CODESYS is called the Android of the automation world.
And I have a big questions. I think not just me, most of Japanese listener, they have same question, because you know in Japan that we have a very big PLC manufacturer like Amron, Mitsubishi, Keyence, or so many PLC manufacturer, and they have, and for the listener that they always have like questions that is that really CODESYS is very hot in European or not, because they say so many people they asking CODESYS, we are using CODESYS, but is it really that CODESYS is using to control the machine or not? They very doubt in this point. Could you tell me a little bit so in your experience? Yeah.
Yeah, one moment.
I mean, Costa have something to talk to us.
Yes. Yes, and the main reasons are like what we already talked about. And CODESYS in Europe is coming. It's also, at least according to CODESYS itself, it's also quite strongly coming in the US. because Rockwell basically was asleep. They did not update their systems, and the people are like fed up with the archaic with the archaic system that they have. So they're also growing there. And in Europe, it's done. Like every main European manufacturer, maybe not Siemens, but if you like just like Vago, Berghof, um, sorry, like it's more like Lancer, I know, and others. They are using CODESYS already.
So the
So
clear statement is the
yes,
most control units in the world from the programming language are sold with CODESYS. So as a proprietary CODESYS system, as
yeah.
on another name, but
Maybe it's not called CODESYS, but it is
not called
CODESYS.
CODESYS,
Yes.
but most of the PLCs in the world are sold to program with CODESYS. Yeah.
Oh, so why CODESYS may be one of the future in the European, but in the automation work.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I
Mm.
also start to learn CODESYS. I used CODESYS around 4 years or 5 years before then. But I think it's really very ecosystem. And
You,
even I use vertical, Matthias to give me a
uh,
controller. I just use 1 week, not less than 1 week,
Mm.
and to play with that. Then I can.
you have to imagine with CODESYS, you are completely flexible also from the motion side, from the drives, from the motors. Just supported DS402 protocol, and then you can use in your machines the motor you're needing for the application. So they were completely open from that side. And even when it comes to, okay, I want to have Siemens drives, CODESYS can be a Profinet, our controller can be a Profinet master to control the Siemens drives. So the open world also from other devices, not only programming devices, also lower base sensors, motion parts. In CODESYS, you have all flexibility to use nearly everything. Yeah.
Okay, I get it. Okay, so we talk about
Yes.
code.
The one thing that sorry,
Okay,
the one
please.
thing that is important here, like with PLC, it's like you have like if you learn one thing, if you learn to program one PLC language, the CODESYS is the IDE. PLC has its integrated languages. You in theory, yes, you can work with any PLC, but what you have here, but still a jump from let's say TIA from Siemens to CODESYS, it's quite different. When you use CODESYS, you learn one IDE, you learn your favorite programming language. Is it structured text? Is it, if you still want to work with ladder or FBD, it's up to you. The choice is yours. You can mix them however you want. With CODESYS, like when you do like Siemens or like when you do like Omron, you will learn the software and the quirks and everything, and you're going to be locked into that. But if you learn CODESYS, you learn one software and you can use 400 different PLCs, and that's that is like the big difference. So um, it's much more future oriented than being stuck with only one device.
I get it. Okay, so we talk about the CODES and how Berghof, the relationship between CODES and Berghof. So could you now you tell a little bit successful story that how your customers use your Berghof controller in their machine? Like, could you tell some successful story to us, to our listener? I think now it's your turn, Matthias. Some successful story.
Yeah, so Costa has more knowledge from the customer application. For
Yeah.
sure, I know the customer, but Costa really has a deep dive into the application because also here we
Uh,
support our customers to help them to make the right configuration in the CODESYS when it comes to multi-core and so on.
mm,
For sure, we have a good customer which the end customer is a packaging machine builder. It's a really huge packaging machine. I don't know, there we have implemented our small CC Slim dual core,
yes,
it's called, and it's controlling up to 16 motors, 16.
up to 16 drives, but it's a little bit special case for this application because it's just like a two system. But yes, it can control up to 16 drives, but that's like one example. Packaging machines. One very cool project is for from our good customer in Poland. He basically built
3D print.
building 3D printer. So basically, it is a huge gantry construction, and he is 3D printing buildings. Like, of course, not a skyscraper, but like they're like they're 3D printing. If you have some kind of storage space and everything, you have like this big construction, and you have the like just a giant 3D printer. Instead of resin, it's printing concrete, and it goes like zzz, and it builds like the whole building up. This is quite a nice application.
I can show a small video from that.
Yes, it's you can find videos
Maybe
on
like
that on YouTube.
I can show it if you want to.
Yeah, we show this a few maybe 20 seconds or something to what kind of application, because I think we talk of 1 hour, then I think the listener their comments is that really that the Raspberry Pi can use the real application or not. I think they still doubt with that, because sometimes I hear
They can like we like these are where to say these are a little bit special applications, but like we have one major drive fan manufacturer that buys our Raspberry Pi devices brand labeled and uses it with uses it in high-end motion application that go down to the 500 microsecond. He implemented the system. Like, unfortunately, we don't have any machine information about that, because like it's their projects and stuff. But it's just like the feedback that we get back. One recent thing, we have a German. It is a German machine manufacturer. He's doing a lot of robotics, and he's building like a small logistic systems and a robot arm that is doing the loading and unloading of CNC machines.
You mean the SCARA system?
Yeah, the SCARA system. So basically, it is a whole robot case where you put your CNC machine in, and instead of a manual worker to load and unload the parts, a SCARA is using it, and he has been using our devices for many years now. So he already used the CODESYS V2 devices, pre-soft motion and everything. Actually, he's also working with his own drivers. Like, he's very specialized, and he worked for a long time also with our IMX devices, and now he did also the jump to the Pi devices. And he was very, very. I got very positive feedback. Like, first, like the software was just like he changed the device, and he did some like a little bit of core configuration stuff. When you go from a single core to a quad core, you have to do a little bit of the tasking, be a little bit smart about it, and it was just working. The performance was immediately better, especially his visualization was working better. He does not need that low of cycle time, so he's also happy because he basically uses CAN. So 1 millisecond or less in CAN is almost not possible, because even with 1 megabaud, the bus load is just going to be too high after using more than 2 drives. So he does not need the extremely high performance on that, but like the whole system just upped his application with the cycle time stability, with the usability of the visualization. With like basically he said he got everything running after 1 day by changing from our old system to our new system. That was like a very positive feedback that we had. We have also like quite a nice
so many stories
project. Yes, like there are many projects like that. One that is not motion based is like a medical waste shredder that is using our MC Pi PLCs
Safety,
together with safety. In this case, it was like the first one that was using the Pis with the safety that we had there. He also does not have crazy cycle time requirements, but he needed like a flexible system. So he's using it a lot. He has CAN interfaces. He's using the serial port. He's using the USB parts. and he's displaying everything here, which was also quite well done success. They actually started with using a normal Pi, but they saw, okay, that's not
Windows
going to
system.
work because of the cheap hardware.
Yeah.
The basic stability with our device when it comes like with the Pi is that we have really stable hardware that is designed to run 24/7. It's not so much that the Pi OS is highly unstable, but the Pi software or like the hardware design allows these industrial parts.
Also, we have some AGV manufacturers which are using our products, so free floating vehicles, grounded vehicles in also automotive factories where the aluminium chassis are driving around from one worker to another worker, something like that. So, like I said at the beginning, we have a wide range of customers. Normally, everywhere where you have movement, need really reliable long-term availability, precision hardware, our products are perfect fitting. Even also when it comes to special software features, which we then will make it happen with our software department. So it's a complete right range. Yeah.
Yeah, that's also what Costa also saying the point that the last bit of a controller can be run in 24/7. So,
Yeah.
for example, I think in most of use case they will use this type of controller for just for collecting some data to display the dashboard. I think this type is no problem, right? They will not affect the productions. But I think the main point is the Berghof. The strong point is the customer they're using the Berghof Raspberry Pi controller to use for productions for their motion controller
Yeah.
in a very stable run cycle time and I think this
We
type not
guarantee normally that it is a stable system, even when the customer has problems with the application. We are able to have a look at it from Costa is helping them, like I said before, to make the multitasking in the perfect way. Help here to reach the cycle time, reduce the jitter, make high-end motion applications running. So we have a deep knowledge in also configure the CODESYS on the right way for the customer application. And also here we helped really big companies with a lot of programmers to get it running. Yeah.
it means that Berghof will like I think Costa will do that. They will also help the customer to config to optimize their project or their conversion. Is
Yeah.
that correct?
Automate, not
Optimize.
Optimize
sure what, or no,
applications
not
of the customer.
automate. Like I'm here, like
Optimize.
optimize.
Optimize, yeah.
Yes, like we in this case, like for basic optimization, something like tasking. Tasking is actually not that difficult if you know what you're doing. but like here is like very common that if a customer has some kind of cycle time problems, that I will tell him, okay, let's make an appointment, let me take a look at your tasking, and then usually I can see very quickly if his tasking was done well or not so well, and then like with a few clicks you can get very big results and that you have here, and like where we can check and help the customer like to optimize at least here the performance that he will get. I can also do like basic overview and like do some how to say like something that can be done within 1 hour. I will do it. Otherwise, we also have a service department that is where we have like more programmers that will do like a full scale analyzing of the whole application and stuff like
Also
that.
porting software from
Yes,
proprietary solution to CODESYS. We have done a lot
yes.
in the past to our products, and not only to our products, just to native CODESYS. And then the machine builder is free to use from the hardware what what he wants. But that's also a big point from us that we help to port from C++ to CODESYS. Siemens, like Costa said, is difficult, but also here we have knowledge. But normally from open system to CODESYS, we did a lot in the past. Yeah.
Right now, there is a project running that is doing like they're using an older B&R C-based system, and we're
Oh,
porting the software over to CODESYS.
oh, so that's
Mm.
a very strong one for Berghof because I think in Japan they have some a very big problem is sometimes they would like to use CODESYS, but actually they don't have the support. For example, I think not just in Japan, the distributor they just sell their controller that with CODESYS inside, but they cannot
Hmm.
do this type of tuning. I think tuning is very important
Yeah,
part for you by using CODESYS. They don't know how to do it to tuning. They can pay, but they don't. No people can do that. So I think the Berghof
okay,
is very great. They make a great job for in this type of engineering.
Hmm.
So that's if if I think we need to do extend a bit more in Japan. I think Japan they also like the CODESYS, but they don't
sure,
cannot
sure.
find a good way.
Yes, in CODESYS is a big learning by doing, and usually for the basic configuration, if you learn it once, then you will have it. Like there are a lot of traps when you are a beginner, but if you get it once, then you won't have these traps again. It will get easier and easier over time, and the more experience that you get. I don't think it's only, this is not only the case with CODESYS. Um, it's also the case with basically all of the software that you're going to use. Um, yeah, but like CODESYS, like the point of entry is quite easy. It's like easy to learn, hard to master. But even with yourself, or and if you're looking on YouTube, there are so there's some decent tutorials that you can use, and
Also remake trainings.
um, yes, there are also like e-learning programs that can be found, like where you can learn quite a lot by yourself. Mm.
Okay, thank you. Okay, so we talked around 30, more than 30 minutes for Kotis. So I would like to come back to Berghof. So this year is 2026. I think now it's on March. So do you tell a little bit more what you have any new line up or new product in this year? Will be released in this year? You can.
So we just released our newest display controller family last year. This year we will upgrade our little compact controller, the Slim, with also a Pi-based CPU. It will be additionally to the IMX portfolio. Then we will have a really small motion controller with two Ethernet, so 8 digital inputs, 8 digital outputs, then two Ethernet, Ethernet interface, quad core, real-time Linux, or open system. And that we have a really cost-efficient solution for motion applications, but also for data acquisition, data handling. And interesting part is, which I learned a few weeks ago, is one major competitor of us from Japan. When you want to use these PLC manufacturer in motion applications, you need a PLC, a main PLC, and motion cards to connect to the drives. So I was really, because when it comes to our system, you directly connect it from the PLC to the motion. So you just have one hardware. So that was a little bit confusing for us. So that's a huge benefit. And with this small controller, we have a really cost-efficient new solution. And for sure, I know everybody's talking about AI in the mechanical engineering. We are also doing stuff with AI, not only stuff. With our newest display family, display control family, we developed a special feature. We implemented a M.2 interface in the controllers, which can be used for even SSD hard drive to implement, so that you have, I don't know, unlimited storage. Could be a possibility. But we have also the possibility to implement a Halo AI chip from our production. And then you have a PLC with integrated AI functionality. So you don't need a PC or a special AI hardware which is running. You have just a display controller with a Raspberry Pi 4-core CPU and a Halo AI chip. So then you can, for example, so there are a lot of words circling around the machine building area when it comes to AI, predictive maintenance, quality inspection, data acquisition, energy management, etc., etc., etc. To be honest, in the past, there was also possibilities to have AI functionality in the machine builder, in the machine mechanical engineering for machine builder, because you had intelligent sensors. So the sensor is telling you, oh, here we have a problem, could be a problem in the future. So that was a little bit a kind of predictive maintenance. You could buy a camera with AI support from Kians for 4,000 euro or something like that. So you had quality inspection with AI support. But that was not really AI, it was AI supported. Now we have the functionality in one device. So for example, you program on the 4-core, on the Raspberry Pi core, you program the normal machine application. So the conveyor belt, the motors, etc. Then make an example from quality inspection. So in the past, when you would have done a special, really high precision quality inspection, you need a really expensive camera. Now you can use a camera which fits for your requirements, for the surface with the resolution you're needing. Then you have the 4-core AI at a 4-core Raspberry Pi application, program CODESYS, and then you have the Halo AI chip. The Halo AI chip, you have to teach and to program. So program the application. What do you want to realize and teach the objects for the quality inspection? And then the AI chip is getting the feed from the camera, pictures or video feed, doing the calculation and bringing the data via Modbus or something like that to the main application. Then the main application knows, okay, oh, that's a bad product. I have to push the product out via whatever, the task or something like that. But the important point is you need also programming knowledge in these AI chips. So you have a Halo teaching tool or
TensorFlow.
TensorFlow.
Okay.
Yeah, you can basically the thing is like AI is a big buzzword, but many people don't know what to do with it. But if you have a use case, then then like we can discuss the use case and we can check, okay, what is the best way to train the chip. So the chip that is inside there, the Halo chip at the beginning, it's untrained, so it's just hardware. It's not doing anything. But like the bigger point is identifying, okay, what do I need the AI for, and then okay, and how can I prepare like the language model for this. And when you have something like that, you can start training the chip and train it and train it and train it and train it, and then you load the language model onto the local chip on the PLC, and then it is a closed running system. You don't need a very expensive camera. You can get either a camera like with an Ethernet feed or with a USB. You get the feed. The video is analyzed by the AI chip. It will get the data, and then usually via shared memory, you're able to get the data out into the system. Like system is the Linux system, or into CODESYS if you're also using CODESYS. So you have everything like in one device that can use regular hardware, not specialized hardware, and do and do like use cases like this.
So a simple sentence is AI is the ability of computers to learn, recognize patterns, and make decisions based on them. So sure, you can do a quality inspection only via programming, saying, okay, normal PLC, that's a good product, bad product. But the AI is learning slightly by itself too. Okay, that could be a bad product, or there are some patterns which are coming up more and more, and then you get an alarm or something like a pre-alarm, and that's the same with predictive maintenance or the data acquisition. You have to start on a database, and on a specific point, the AI is helping you with parts or with sorts or information you have not thought about. So that's the big difference between AI functionality and just give the PLC logic borders, okay, where to act.
Oh, so you mean this year that Berghof will also release the AI chip base, the
We also
controller,
have it.
and
We also have it. So we sold some. We also have a use case, a use case in a suitcase. So we made a little sample, a suitcase controller, USB camera, programmed the application with quality inspection. So also human detection. So in our application, you have the camera feed, and if a human walks in the camera feed, it's detecting, oh, okay, that's a human. When it's a glass, it's a glass. So it's detecting different objects. Could also be face detection. And like Costa said, now we have one device. It's a percentage of the cost, like in the past when you have a 4,000 euro camera or something like that. And now you can use this cheap camera. You have the normal priced panel with AI chip implemented and have all the functionalities.
oh, get it. Okay, so this year there will have so many very great products, the AI-based
So
chip controller and also the motion-based control. So where can I see it? We know that by the way of this year we'll be attend some event also in German, right? For some.
yeah, sure. So normally our major fair is the SPS Drives in Nuremberg in November. Also the SPS in Italy in Parma. We are participating with our partner. Then we have some local fairs in Germany, but also with our partner China. We are attending the IAS in Shanghai, and also the Southern China Fair. Also, I think HTP will do some fairs
Yeah, sure.
where all listeners can have a look at our products. And also, if you have interest, for sure, we are here to make a first Teams meeting. And when it then comes to a specific needs, we are, Costa and me, we are also open to fly to Japan, to be honest, to have some beautiful break after the meeting.
Yeah, but I very thanks because every time I ask, I just say message in LinkedIn in Matthias, hey, please, will we have a meeting on this 2 days later? They say yes, just do it. And then Costa also saying, could I open a meeting with you for some support? Just maybe 15 minutes, something like that. Their support is very great in my view. They also
That's our goal.
reply the
That's our
email
goal.
Thank
very
you.
yeah, sure. They also reply the email very soon. For example, that's when I first time when I play with a Berghof, the FSOE master, and even I can configure it. And Costa also give me so many suggestions for how to use that. If you use it for just for demo or for use for real case, you need this some things you need to take care. They also very explain to me very detailed. So in my view, their support is very great. So that's why I think the customer why you choose Berghof to use their Raspberry Pi controller to into their production, not just for data control or the IoT data collections for gateways to put their controller inside their production. So that's why why the reason that would like to invite Berghof. I would like to invite Matthias and Costa to join in this podcast for that more Japanese listener to know that it's a very great Raspberry Pi, not just Raspberry Pi. It's a very great device manufacturer in German. Okay, so I think we talked about 1.5 hours. So maybe I thought it's time to end. But before, could Matthias and Costa to say something to our Japanese listener or even English listener, because now we speak English. Do you say something to us?
Just be open and try CODESYS, try Berghof, and I'm sure you're going to be very positively surprised, and hopefully it will gain traction. Yes, that's it. And konbanwa.
Okay.
Good sentence, Costa. Yeah, I totally agree. Just try us or get in contact with Chris.
Yes.
If you have some requirements, he's very familiar with our products, and also we are here to help you, so don't hesitate. We are looking forward to a lot of possible applications we can do with our products. So thank you for your time. It was a pleasure, and was quite funny, to be honest. Really cool. Thank you, Chris, for the opportunity.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
Okay, so
Yep.
for me, just at work, and I think some Japanese citizens are also thinking, is the Berghof have some real use case in Japan or not? I would say is yes. I
Sure.
I cannot say the name, but a very big automotive manufacturer. They use the Berghof controller for their some system. So for they also pass the temperature test and auto test, so it can be used in the productions. So even I cannot tell the name, but if you private to DM to me, I can tell you which company is using that. And if you would like, really would like to try, not maybe not suppose no need no more, just ping me. Then I will share all the information that I have and show you. And if you want, I can also contact to Matthias and Costa to have a 30 minutes meeting.
Sure. Awesome.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
So,
So I think
Okay. Perfect.
okay. So I think today the time is okay. Okay. So maybe just say thank you again to join this podcast. So
Yes.
have a good day. Okay.
thank
Okay.
you.
Thanks for having us.
Bye bye.
Okay.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye
Bye
bye.
Bye bye.
bye. Thank you, Chris.